Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have round 5 of the season. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's get into it. Mark Webber won his second race of the season. Last time out at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and he closed the gap to Lewis Hamilton. Gap between the two of them is 2 points, but Hamilton retains the championship lead. Kimi Raikkonen sits 3 points off the lead in third place, and Alonso is 11 points off the lead in fourth place. Rosberg had his second retirement of the season. He remains down in 5th place. The other changes were Vettel, I believe, moving ahead of Perez, Perez ahead of Hulkenberg. And I, of course, have fallen down to 18th place behind Valtteri Bottas because his second best result is a 16th place finish. Mine is a 17th place finish. So on countback, he's ahead of me. And it also means that Williams move ahead of Marussia in the Constructors' Championship. So Marussia down to 10th place with Mercedes still leading the way, but Red Bull closing their gap. It looks to be a dry race weekend, and I just hope it's a more exciting race than both Bahrain and China proved to be. Let's get into qualifying. Oh, Charles Pic, what are you doing? Caterham have done that on purpose to sabotage us yet again. Well, that was a lap that was not the perfect lap. It could have been much better. I'm about 5 seconds off Alonso with that one. I think I need to make some changes and hopefully not get traffic on my next run. Yeah, I got to find a big improvement. Charles Pic, if he wasn't in the way, I think I could have been into the 24s. That's the objective, at least, get into the 24s. I think the objective overall is... I don't know, it's not going to tell me. I have no idea what position I actually need target. I have no idea. Oh, 18th or above. That's not going to happen, but 19th could be on the cards. We've got loads of free space on the circuit now. Should be no traffic. Let's see if I can topple my teammate and the Caterhams. And that's got to be the lap that takes me into 19th place. It was a really nice run through the corners and across the line we go with 3/10 ahead of Van der Garde. 19th place, a whole second improvement. It's Rosberg Vettel, the front row again. Nico Rosberg, I think, has claimed pole position in every race so far this season. I think, or at least the 4 out of the 5 races. Mark Webber is in 3rd place. Fernando Alonso at his home Grand Prix, 3/10 off pole, and he starts in 4th ahead of Raikkonen. Hamilton, championship leader still, is in 6th place ahead of Massa and Grosjean. Perez and Hulkenberg on row 5. Row 6 is an all-British affair. Button ahead of De Resta. Then it's 13th place Daniel Ricciardo. Suttil, Verne and Gutierrez the next 3. Pastor Maldonado ahead of Bottas, his teammate, and James Early best of the back markers by 0.3 of a second ahead of Van der Garde. Jules Bianchi starts 21st, and Charles Pic, a fellow Frenchman of Bianchi of course, in 22nd and last place. Oh, I was not expecting that. It's starting with wet conditions, so the wet tyres are actually on the car. 22% chance of rain, so I assume that means 22% of the race is going to be in the wet. That throws strategy completely out the window. It's not going to stay wet for the 66 laps. It's going to go dry at some point, and we'll have to just judge it by eye and detail and what everybody else does. Let's get into the race. Well, there's only one more thing to do, and that's go racing. The 2013 Spanish Grand Prix is next. Okay, our first start in the wet. I am slightly nervous. I struggle just getting the power down in the dry, let alone the wet, but the 5 lights are on, and we are underway for the Spanish Grand Prix. We're all crawling away from the start, and it's a very long run down towards turn 1 as well. I think it's the longest run on the calendar. Everybody's going past me. Okay, I'm last place. Brilliant. I didn't even get wheel spin. I just really bogged down off the start. And I can't see a bloody thing into turn 1. Got to take it really careful. Oh, there's a car facing the wrong way. Verne spun around. So we go around him. I think somebody must have tagged him. I'm not sure who it was. Maybe it was Valtteri Bottas, who seems to be struggling now as well. It's through turn 3 we go for the first time. See if we can get a good exit out of this corner towards turn 4. Might have a run on my teammate Bianchi. Under braking. He might be cautious, seeing as it's lap 1. He is not cautious. He has slammed the brakes on very late. As up ahead, they're getting sort of backed up. As we're going 2, maybe even 3 wide up ahead. Bianchi looks to defend. I look to attack up the inside of the Marussia. I go, and the teammates run side by side. The Frenchman just about holding on to that position for now. It's a great battle on this opening lap. I'm just hoping we actually have the pace on the wet tyres. And we're not going to get absolutely dropped as I get cut off there by Bianchi into turn 7. Into the turn 10 hairpin. What's going on up ahead? I think the 2 Caterhams are going side by side. I managed to find the inside line on my teammate to make up that position. I feel like there's already been more action in this lap 1 of this race than the entirety of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So I feel like we're in for a good race today. Oh, I think Vern's just ran into Bianchi. I've half spun because I was trying to look in my mirror. That's going to give Bianchi the position. Oh, dear. And I'm down to 21st place. I was about to say the AI looked very quick in the wet. Because essentially, I was matching the Caterham's pace on that second lap. See if we could attack Bianchi into turn 4. Might be risky. And it's a risk I'm not willing to take. Of course, it's my teammate. You don't want to make contact with your teammate. There's been a crash between teammates into turn 4 here before. 2016, if you remember that. Hamilton and Rosberg. Now, this is what we want to see. Caterham versus Marussia. It's a straight fight on a level playing field because the wet seems to have slowed me down a bit. As Webber set a 34.5. That's 6 seconds quicker than my quickest lap. All the two Caterhams have made contact into turn 1 as Peak has overtaken Van der Gaard. I've looked to take advantage and I've overtaken my teammate Bianchi on the outside of turn 1. That was a good move. Opportunistic, I'd say. Maybe a sign of a future world champion. So now we've got a run on Van der Gaard out of turn 3 towards turn 4. Up the inside. That's 2 positions made in 3 corners. There we go. Slipstream down the main straight. As light rain predicted in a few minutes' time, says the race engineer. We move past Shell Peak up to 18th place. Objective today is 18th. So we're into that position. Although Jean-Eric Verne, he had to replace his front wing, but I'm sure he'll be closing into the pack of back markers soon. It's Rosberg leading Vettel, so the top 2 stay the same. Raikkonen up to 3rd place. Raikkonen always has really good starts on this game, it seems. Every time I check the race director, he's always in the top 3. Got to grips with the weather a bit better now, so I am pulling away from Shell Peak by about a second a lap. I'm surprised there was not more chaos up ahead due to the conditions. I was hoping for some crashes and some retirements. Engineers asking me if we want to take the chance and switch to inters now. But I don't know about that. It seems way too wet still. The temperature of the tyres, they're nice and warm. Not overheating though. When they overheat is when you want to switch, I think. Or when the AI pit is when I pit. Nobody's out there setting fastest laps, which is concerning. It means surely that the conditions aren't improving. Just have to point out, this game looks really nice in the wet. All these early Codemasters F1 games look really good in the wet. I don't know what they did, but it looks great. They improved there by a whole 7/10. Hamilton set the fastest lap by a second quicker than the previous best lap, so it's definitely starting to improve now as we're on lap 11. Well, that's a mistake. That's going to be a corner cut. Oh, it didn't even count. Cool. Another call from the race engineer to switch over to the intermediate tyres. Feel like we might see some drivers pit this lap. Yep, we've got action in the pit lane. All the leaders into the pit, so I'm going to box this lap as well. Right, in we go. Make sure not to crash into that pit wall. I've done that many a time on many different games. We'll box there on lap 12 from 18th place, putting on the intermediate tyres. Everybody pit on the same lap, so we've rejoined in 18th place. Vettel's the new race leader. Hamilton is 2nd and Raikkonen now runs in 3rd. I knew the pits would shake everything up because they all pit at the same time. Rosberg, who was leading the race at the start, is now down in 4th. And Shell Peak faster than me right now. He's 3.7 seconds behind. So on the wet and intermediate tyres, I'm essentially matched by the Caterhams. Or at least one of the Caterhams. We've got a Jean-Eric Verne fastest lap. I think that might be the only time we ever see a Jean-Eric Verne fastest lap. Yeah, I have a new fear, and it's intermediate conditions on this game. Shell Peak just took a second out of me into the middle sector. I'm clearly very slow on these tyres. There's a wing at turn 1, or at least a bit of a wing. We don't see too many actual wings being removed. We see a lot of like end plates being removed. I don't think the realistic damage mod that I do kind of have is as extreme as it has been in the past games. There he is, Shell Peak, 1.3 seconds behind as the track is definitely drying quite quickly. There's something quite satisfying about a drying track, knowing that every lap you do is going to be an improvement on your previous best. It's good until it gets completely dry and then it sort of, levels out like it usually does. That's me straight off the track. A mistake. I was going really quick on that lap as well. Oh, Shell Peak's just disappeared. He's out of the race. I think he just crashed at turn 10. So I wasn't the only one to make a mistake at turn 10. Shell Peak out of the race, so he's the first retirement. So Jean-Eric Verne now in 19th place. He'll be closing me down. Although he's a distance behind right now. We can't be more than maybe 3 or 4 laps away from the dry tyres. So there's definitely a dry line sort of formed. Beautiful blue skies now at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya, which is hopefully a sign of good things to come for me in this race. Engineer thinks it's time to switch to the dries, but I'll wait to see what the AI do. I don't want to go too early. I've done that before in these games, and I regret it every single time. Right, the leaders are in. Okay, we'll box this lap. I'm thinking we put on the... We'll go for the options. I'm thinking from here we could probably go option prime to get to the end of the race. That might be the strategy. Box, 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 box on lap 20 from 18th place for the option tyres. The classic 3.1 second stop. Rejoining in 18th place. I have no idea how far Vern is behind me, but he's in 19th. Vettel followed by Hamilton very close behind him. That's an exciting battle for the race lead. If DRS is enabled, Hamilton's got it on Vettel down this main straight. Let's hopefully be close enough to see the battle. You can just about see the battle up ahead. I think he's going for it. I think he's gone for it. I think he's got the lead. Yep, Hamilton leads the race, and he's 5 seconds a lap quicker than me right now, so I'm the usual pace. Okay, I'm only 4 seconds. Not even that. 3.8 seconds off the fastest lap now. I'm getting quicker, and I'm sort of matching Bottas this time. I'm not doing too bad. In the dry, I'm matching Bottas. I'm as quick as Vern as well. If we didn't have the rain at the start, I think we could be battling the Williams and the Toro Rossos today. Gutierrez now the car ahead, so Bottas has either made an overtake or Gutierrez is in trouble. I'm hoping it's the latter. Hamilton, Raikkonen now, and Vettel the top 3. Hulkenberg, can you believe it, runs in 4th place, on the verge of another podium, potentially. Rosberg is in 5th, and then we have Paul di Resta in 6th place. So the rain has really mixed up the grid today. That's a massive lockup. Oh, we're off the grass. We're off the grass. We're on the grass, and then we're off it pretty quickly. That was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. 12 seconds right now back to Vern, and that's the objective today, to beat Jean-Eric Vern, because that means at least we'll get 18th place in this race. Bottas is the car ahead again, so I think Gutierrez and Bottas just switching positions up ahead. Okay, Vern's got the gap down to 9 seconds now. I'm starting to worry a slight bit. If he does close up to me, I'm going to defend with everything I've got. I think Blue Flags has helped me big time. Vern is now 15 seconds behind. So thank you, Blue Flags. I mean, they will slow me down once they catch up to me, but they are miles behind right now. Just about at half race distance now. I'm hoping a prime 2 stint at the end will get us to the end of the race. It should do. So I think I'll box next lap. In fact, I'm going to box this lap because there's a train of about 6 cars about to lap me. I don't want to be slowed down by them. So I'll box at the end of this lap. A few other drivers into the pits this lap as well, as we're going to box from 18th place on lap 33 for a set of the prime tyres, which will hopefully get me to about lap 50 in this race. Oh, all the drivers I wanted to miss out on getting lapped by, all boxed on the lap I did. So there was absolutely no point. Oh, brilliant. Oh, whatever. Rejoining 18th place. I'll get blue flag soon. So just like it's been for a lot of laps, 31 seconds to Bottas and about 15 seconds to Vern behind me. But I've got loads of cars to let through. I've just got constant blue flags. This is so annoying. We're going to get a penalty if I don't let him through. There's Perez. There's Alonso. Alonso all the way down in 9th place. Almost just took me out as well. 9th place for the home hero. Hamilton, Raikkonen, Vettel, Hulkenberg, the top 4 right now. They're all on the option tyres as well, which is interesting. I went for the primes, but almost everybody on the grid right now on the options. As I'm now putting a lap on Guido van der Garde, who's in last place. Lapped place. That wasn't funny. I don't know why I said that out loud. Yeah, I've double checked. I'm literally the only driver on the prime tyres. That means everybody else is going to do 2 more stops because they're on the options. I'm only going to do 1 more stop, which makes me feel a lot better about my pace. I'm not getting dropped by Bottas. My teammate Bianchi being a roadblock for the front runners. Thank you very much, mate. And that's another time I've lapped Bianchi. Let's see if he actually finishes the race today. If I could somehow get these tyres to lap 53, I could go straight back onto the options to finish the race. I'm going to finish maybe a lap or 2 down anyway. And it'll give me extra pace at the end. And I'm pretty sure if everybody else has to pit 2 more times, then Bottas could be there for the taking. Well, to be fair, if everybody goes onto the primes now, they could probably get to the end. No. That's wrong. That's wrong. I'm pretty certain they have to pit 2 more times. And a big scalp has been taken by the gods of Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. What I'm trying to say is Sebastian Vettel is retired from the race. I'm going to be up to 17th. Vettel is going to be on the first plane home to wherever he lives. It's for Red Bull, so I assume he's going back to Milton Keynes. And trust me when I tell you, nobody wants to go back to Milton Keynes. I just need to see these AI pit within the next 1 or 2 laps to guarantee them having to pit an extra time before the end. The gap is still about 30 seconds to Bottas. It's remained the same, even though he's on the options. I'm on the primes. He should have the pace advantage, but I've just been sticking with his speed. Considering how good Grosjean was in real life in 2013, he's not very good in this game, is he? I don't think he's scored that many points, especially not compared to his teammate Raikkonen. I'm getting lapped for the 2nd time. Oh dear. Right, that makes my option at the end strategy much easier, seeing as I only have to finish now 64 laps. Unfortunately, I think the AI can get away with just going on the primes to the end of the race, so I don't think I'll be catching Bottas, unfortunately. And there they are, into the pits and out of the pits. My only hope is they somehow, for some reason, put the options tyres back on. I don't think they did. Bottas, after his pit stop, is 12 seconds up the road from me. So surprisingly, he only loses about 18 seconds in the pits. I imagined it would have been more than that, considering you're going past the pits at full speed. So with my 2 laps down, I have 15 laps to go, including the one I'm on. So if I go another 3 laps, I can box comfortably for the option tyres and get to the end. We have Monaco next after this. And basing it on 2010, 11 and 12, that should be a good one. A good race where we're quicker than we should be. So I am looking forward to that one. The last 3 races, including this one, has been kind of drab, you know, not too great. Good news is I'm 36 seconds clear of Verne for some reason. Oh, of course, he boxed, didn't he? Without that pit stop, he will be probably close to 20 seconds behind me. So I think I've got that position nailed down. Oh my god, everybody's had their 4th and final pit stop up at the front. It's Hamilton, Raikkonen, the top 2. Hulkenberg is in 3rd place, ahead of Webber, but Webber's setting the fastest laps, so he must be pretty close to the Sauber. But it could be a 2nd podium of the season for Nico Hulkenberg. End of lap 52, we are boxing for the final time in this race, putting on the option tyres to get me to the end. Should be a nice quick final stint. Everybody else is on the primes. I'll be the only driver on the option tyres. Going to rejoin comfortably in 17th place, which is where we were before, and in a load of clean air. Well, apart from the Force India in front, but I assume he's going to be quicker than me. I'm only 2 seconds off the fastest lap of the race. That's as close as we're going to get to the fastest lap this year. I'm pretty certain about that. I gained on Bottas by 3 seconds on that lap. Another 2 seconds taken out of Bottas. Gap is down to 24.3. About 10 laps to go. Hulkenberg still holding on. He's just ahead of Mark Webber. If that Sauber gets another podium. Oh my god. Hulkenberg might end up scoring about 150 points this season. And I did say I'm going to do driver transfers, so Nico Hulkenberg might be on a front-running team next year. Almost under 20 seconds to Bottas. It's 21.4 as it stands. I think we've left this like a little bit too late. I'm not going to catch him, but it's good to see the gap come down. And there he goes. 3rd place Hulkenberg. I thought Webber was close behind him. He's not. There's a massive gap behind him. I can't imagine this video is anywhere near 20 minutes long. But once again, it's a race that nothing much has happened in. Not been too exciting. I mean, we're not horrendously slow. As you can see in the top left, I'm under 20 seconds behind Bottas. And I'm ahead of Jean-Eric Verne's Toro Rosso, even though he did have an incident on the opening lap, of course. 3 laps to go to get to the end. Hamilton on course for his 2nd victory of the season. And he'll extend his championship lead. It's so funny how many times Rosberg has been absolutely messed up this game. He lost out big time because of the pit stops. I think he was, what was he, 2nd place behind Vettel at the start? Or in that first stint. And then when everybody switched to the inters and then to the dries, he just lost loads of positions in the pits. There's a Red Bull right behind me. It's just not showing me blue flags. So I guess I don't need to move out the way. Yeah, fair enough. I know who it is. It's Mark Webber. But I'm not getting blue flags, so it's the last lap. I think the race marshals have just given up. They've already gone home. Hamilton picks up his second victory of the season to extend his championship lead as we round the final corner for the final time to finish in 17th place. Not bad, it's met the objective and we finished ahead of a Toro Rosso. I'll take that. There's confirmation Hamilton's victory. He won by only a second over Raikkonen. And man of the moment, yet again, who started in 10th place, finishing in 3rd. Nico Hülkenberg picks up his second third place finish of the year. Mark Webber in 4th place, 40 seconds down on the lead. Sergio Perez in 5th. Another great result from Perez. Alonso slips down to 6th at his home Grand Prix. Rosberg, who was on pole position again, slips all the way down to 7th, ahead of De Resta, Grosjean and Button. Felipe Massa, no points today. Neither is there points for Pastor Maldonado. Adrian Sutil, Daniel Ricciardo, Esteban Gutierrez are all a lap down. Then we have a few drivers 2 laps down, which is Bottas, Early and Verne, and Van der Garde and Jules Bianchi, the final driver who finished 4 laps down. Vettel and Charles Pic did not finish. So Hamilton's lead is now 10 points ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, who moves ahead of Mark Webber and into 2nd place. So Webber slips to 3rd. Fernando Alonso now more than a race victory in terms of points off the championship lead. Nico Rosberg only a single point ahead of Sergio Perez and only 2 points ahead of Nico Hülkenberg, who has now hit 40 points scored in the first 5 races of the season. Sebastian Vettel. What is going on with Vettel? The German all the way down in 8th place in the championship as it currently stands. We've had 18 drivers score points. I am the 18th of those drivers. Still ahead of Pastor Maldonado, which is nice to see. In the Constructors' Championship, it's Mercedes leading Red Bull. They've opened that gap up again. It's 25 points. And both teams have gone past 100 points scored for the season. As Marussia, that's our team, down in 10th place. A single point ahead of Caterham. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch these videos a whole day earlier, consider becoming a channel member. Subscribe to the channel if you want. Like the video if you also want to. And I'll see you all for the next one, the Monaco Grand Prix. Goodbye.